Can you play Fortnite on old Mac? So what's up guys, Fabria and welcome to Shades of Tech. Fortnite is a pretty popular cross-platform game, very engaging if you are in team, and it's also free. But how does it run on older Mac and how can we improve performance without breaking the bank? The machine will attempt to play Fortnite on our old Macs like the 2016 13-inch MacBook Pro with i5 dual-core CPU, 8GB of RAM and integrated Iris Pro graphics, and 2013 27-inch iMac with an i7 quad-core CPU, 32GB of RAM and NVIDIA GeForce 750M, and a 2013 Mac Pro 12-core CPU, 64GB of RAM and dual AMD Pro D300 GPUs. All those tests will be running on internal NVMe SSD. Since we don't expect a great result after testing the gameplay on the machine alone, we'll be adding an eGPU because in the last video we tested the graphic performance of those same old Macs to see if they were any good for gaming and video editing and if an eGPU could be a good upgrade. We compared all the Thunderbolt port generation as well to see if there were any disadvantages, and the result was that it really much improved the gaming performance. Check this video to see Unigen Heaven and Valley benchmark results before and after, and to know more how to set up an eGPU on older Thunderbolt 1 and 2 Macs that aren't officially supported right now. Without further ado, let's start with the testing. First we try to play with the screen setting, all high preset resolution, just a little bit lower than 1440p, motion blur on, VSync off, and the results were pretty bad. The worst was the iMac with 9.5 FPS and the MacBook Pro without dedicated GPU scored a little bit better with 12.5 FPS on average. The Mac Pro using a single AMD Pro D300 graphics scored 35 FPS. The details were really good, but it was definitely unplayable and choppy, especially on the first two. So then we decided to drop to medium all the setting and lower a little bit the resolution to 1440 by 900p to see if we could get better frame rate. The situation actually improved. The iMac got up to 35 and the MacBook Pro up to 30. Definitely still unplayable. But the Mac Pro improved a lot, getting 80 FPS. On this machine we are getting some good frame rate, but the resolution is starting to become too low and the picture is blurry, so I don't think it's worth the frame rate boost to lose all those details. So as expected on those older Macs by themselves, Fortnite isn't playable, even with medium settings and low resolution. Let's try now with an eGPU and see how big of improvement we can get. We'll be using the AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT GPU with 8GB of dedicated GDDR6 VRAM. It's a really great GPU with 7nm Navi graphics, HEVC-H265 optimization and DisplayPort 1.4 that makes it future-proof enough for 8K display support for around $400. And actually it's a pretty sweet 1440p gaming GPU. The GPU is really great in general for Mac for gaming because it unlocks the possibility to use higher refresh rate monitors and a higher resolution than before, and if you want, even you can enable HDR if your monitor supports it. Of course you can choose cheaper other models, but in my opinion the 5700 XT is the sweet spot. The reason why you want to go AMD is to have full compatibility with macOS Catalina out of the box. You can find more info at the dedicated Apple page, I leave the link in the description. We'll be pairing it with the Razer Core X Thunderbolt 3 eGPU enclosure. It's the best value GPU you can buy for the money. It combines great build quality, 650 watt power supply that handles even the more power hungry GPUs like the 5700 XT, and it costs under $300. The only downside is that it's a little bit noisy, so we upgraded the blower with a super silent Noctua fan for $30. More in this video. For gaming, to have the best smooth experience with higher FPS, you want to connect your display directly to the GPU with a DisplayPort cable. This is the best solution, but unfortunately we weren't able to make that on the iMac, because every time we hooked up the monitor, the system stopped working and we had to reboot. This is probably due to Thunderbolt 1 bandwidth that is too low to hook up a 4K display, and this is definitely a downside because you can't run high refresh rate monitors and because you'll get a worse experience with the GPU because all the signal has to go from your Mac to the GPU and back to your Mac and even to an external display. All this back and forth will decrease the performance. Thunderbolt 2 and 3 work flawlessly with this configuration. Okay, let's try the same preset as before and let's see how big of improvement we can get. We started with the higher resolution and the high preset like the first time. The MacBook Pro and the Mac Pro scored on average both 65 FPS, so apparently no bottleneck from Thunderbolt 2 and 3 ports, and this was definitely a smooth experience, playable at 1440p 60 FPS. As we told before, the iMac with Thunderbolt 1 had some disadvantage and scored 33 FPS, so again not playable at all. Again, then we lowered the resolution and the preset to medium and we were able to reach 60 FPS on the iMac, 75 on the MacBook Pro with Thunderbolt 3 and 105 with the Mac Pro. But again we reached a too low resolution, lower than 1080p, but the eGPU helped a lot and gave great improvement. Now Fortnite is definitely playable at decent resolution. So, can you play Fortnite on older Macs? No, you can get playable frame rate even at lower than 1080p resolution with only the Mac, but with an eGPU you can get some improvement. But $600 to $700 is a lot, and I think you can definitely build a gaming PC for that money that can get better performance. So I think that for gaming alone, this is the best thing you can do. But if you are a Mac fan, you have a Mac, you are a Mac user, and you want to get an eGPU not only for gaming but also for other tasks like video editing, and you want to play some games in your free time, I think that this upgrade is worth money. But overall, to be honest, I had really long loading times, and I think that I had better overall experience with my PS4 Pro. Maybe with lower FPS, but definitely a better experience. And fun fact, the best Apple device to play Fortnite on, in my opinion, is the iPad Pro with that sweet 120Hz promotion display. And in the next video we'll try to play some Fortnite on an 8K TV to see if it's worth the upgrade. So that's it for this video. I really hope you find this video helpful. Thanks so much for watching me so far. Be sure to like or dislike this video, comment and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!